Hello, this is Mary Lane on the Buying Space channel. I continue my readings from Psalms. I'm in Psalm 78. Last time I read verses 1 to 30. So today I'm starting on verse 31. God's anger rose against them. He put to death the sturdiest among them, cutting down the young men of Israel. In spite of all of this, they kept on sinning. In spite of his wonders, they did not believe. So he ended their days in futility and their years in terror. Whenever gods slew them, they would seek him. They eagerly turned to him again. They remembered that God was their rock, that God Most High was their high Redeemer, was their Redeemer. But then they would flatter him with their mouths, lying to him with their tongues. Their hearts were not loyal to him. They were not faithful to his covenant. Yet he was merciful. He forgave their iniquities and did not destroy them. Time after time, he restrained his anger and did not stir up his full wrath. He remembered that they were not but flesh, a passing breeze that does not return. A passing breeze that does not return. They were flesh. I've been thinking about the resurrection because we're in the Sundays after Easter. The other day I called it the resurrection season, like we have the Advent season. But in liturgical terms, if you look at books of what sermons to do during Easter or after Easter, what time of the year, it's first Sunday, second Sunday, third Sunday after Easter. We are talking about the resurrection. And during this week, I've been thinking about what people say at funerals. Because if you die as a Christian, you will be resurrected. And a lot of people go have their loved ones embalmed and preserved as much as they can be in the rituals we do now. And the Egyptians took it to an extreme. They mummified their leaders so they could return. And they even buried live people with them so they would have servants and armies. And all of that's in vain. It says right here in Psalms that flesh is like a passing breeze that never returns. Never returns. So don't go through that. Don't put your loved ones through that. People that have been in plane crashes, that have been out in the ocean. Even we can see when someone dies, it's ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We haven't had embalming all that long. I mean, we had mummification in Egypt. But God is wondrous, and it won't matter if that person's body is left or not. When the those in Christ that are dead rise again, it won't matter what stage of decomposition their body's in. Because people have died all kinds of ways. What about people that have died in fires? Do you think because, they're Christian, they died in the house fire, and their body was completely burned up. You don't think they're not going to rise again in Christ? Do you limit your God? God is miraculous, and it doesn't matter what happens to this flesh. It is but a temporary, passing breeze. Who we are, our souls, are eternal. Our bodies are not. Let's stop worshiping the body in life and in death. I mean, we are to be healthy, but we're not to look like models every day. We worship this fleshly body. We worship it for vanity and for sex. And in death, we're embalming our people and putting all these chemicals in the ground. How long do you think they've been embalming? That ritual hasn't existed for a very long time at all. Do you think all the Christian souls before that weren't embalmed are not going to rise from the dead? John the Baptist wasn't embalmed. He was beheaded. He's coming back. He's going to rise from the grave. His spirit lives among us. He was Elijah. So do you think that because he was beheaded, he's not going to be part of the second coming? Let's think about this, people. And I love this verse. Living in Florida, this verse is great. A temporary breeze, it will not return. You've been outside on a hot day and you're sweating. That big breeze comes along and it's long enough to refresh you, and then it's gone. And it's gone. It's not coming back. It was just a temporary whirlwind. It was great while it lasted, but now it's done. And a lot of life is like that. Just because you had that breeze for that moment, for that 50 seconds or 50 minutes or a week, a month or a decade, doesn't mean that breeze is returning. So many things in life are like that. If you got a breeze going on right now, enjoy it. But know that when it ends, it ends. Nothing lasts forever. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day.